So, today I'm in the mood for some relaxing Astronarch gameplay. So yeah, let's jump in, let's turn the corruption on, and let's go with corruption level 2. Who do I want in my party today? I want the Paladin to be there, but I don't quite know who else. Maybe the Wild Mage and the Alchemist. Oh, actually, I wanted to try out Pyromancer plus Paladin combo with the Paladin applying burns and the Pyromancer detonating them. Could be a thing. Although I get that the Paladin's burns aren't that high. Is there anyone else who applies burns? I don't think so, to be honest. Nope, no more burns here. Do I wanna go with the Alchemist? I'm okay with that. Yeah. Sure. Let's take these people. So, Paladin cares about defense and maybe attack. Pyromancer definitely cares a lot about attack. And maybe speed. Alchemist cares a lot about speed and maybe attack. So I think the buff I want to go with is attack. Or do we care more about ability cooldown? That would certainly be great for the Paladin. The Pyromancer doesn't particularly need it. The slower he casts detonate, the more burns there will be up to detonate. The Alchemist does care about active ability cost quite a bit, with the Catalyst duplicating poisons. So let's take a look. We have Paladin consecrate your attack, burn your target and any adjacent enemies for 40% attack damage over 10 seconds. And the active is you and all adjacent heroes gain shield equal to your defense plus 100. Pyromancer, all attacks and attacks against the Pyromancer burn the enemy for 30% attack damage over 10 seconds. And detonate, deal 50% piercing attack damage and detonate any burn effects on your target, removing them and dealing their remaining damage instantly. Finally, there's the Alchemist. Your attacks poison a random enemy for 8% attack damage every 3 seconds and grant a minor blessing to a random hero. And Catalyst, deal 100% attack damage to all enemies and duplicate up to 3 random poison effects. Yeah, I think we go with attack here. I think we can pretty easily go to the forest. Well, there is some piercing damage there, which the Paladin doesn't particularly like with the Aegis, but I think that should be fine. Let's start with some normal battles here, just to get us some morale. Entangle, reduce your speed, apply ruin, deals attack damage and a bleed to your target and any adjacent enemies, so let's position like that. The Alchemist can grant minor blessings even to units they are not adjacent to. Give me that shield. Ooh, that was close. Our Paladin almost died there. Tower shield. Could be good on a Paladin. Hex back. I really like having that early on. Noble Ward at the start of combat gain 2 negate. Also gives some defense. I like the front-loaded items quite a bit. Hi the Duke, welcome. Let's bring the Hex back on the Pyromancer, because right now I think the detonate will oftentimes end the fight. It certainly did a decent amount of damage here. Let's go to the caves this time. Maybe these enemies with their piercing stuff are a bit annoying. Attack reduces your target's defense by 4 and speed by 2%. Steal 50 max HP from your target for each bite you have taken. Sure, I don't think that's gonna be a problem, especially with the Hex bag reducing their stats at the start. Although that's only for like 1 attack. Or maybe 2. Your active ability increases your speed by 10%. That could be decent on the Alchemist. Bone Spike armor, attackers bleed for 20 damage over 10 seconds. Interesting to put on the Paladin for sure. Fool's Crown grants HP and grants minor blessings. Also something that I could see on the Paladin. I'm gonna go with the Songbird because it's uncommon. Might be a bit harder to find again. We also get a Bottled Blizzard. All enemies gain 5 frost and have their attack reduced by 25 for 6 seconds. Right now I think I still value normal fights more than events, but that might change. Instead of dealing damage, your attacks apply poison for 100% attack damage every 3 seconds to your target and any adjacent enemies, so we definitely don't want adjacency. Paladin clearly has the highest health. Maybe we do this. Get a very early detonate. We don't want it too early. We need some burns on the enemy after all. That is... yeah, that was a good amount of detonate damage there. So the Pyromancer is basically our front-loaded damage dealer, while the Alchemist is more of our damage over time, like scaling damage. Attackers have a 15% chance to receive a minor curse. Not bad. Gives us some defense and starting MP. Mana Spring Amulet is also tempting, giving us more MP per second. I don't think we want Giant's Club without anyone who really cares about like stacking max HP or something. Let's go with the Unstable Orb. Do I want to visit the early shop? I at least want to have the option. Let's look at this event. The heroes spot a trail of bubbling goo monsters forming a circle around a wooden chest. They seem to be trying to swallow the chest whole. We could fight them, victory grants us vicious goo, or we could sacrifice a random item to gain the vicious goo. Let's go for the fight. Attackers have a 10% chance to be disarmed. Annoying. Reform, heal 20% max HP, poison all enemies for 50% attack damage every 3 seconds. That is rough. We should definitely focus one of them down. I will use the Bottled Blizzard for this fight. Apply the Frost so they are slower going and have less attack. That's 1 down. The poison is already stacking up on this guy, but also on our units. So that is a rough fight. We don't have a lot of gold. I'll dodge the shop. Negate, gain MP expended by enemies. There's really not much we can change here. This hits all enemies. This hits only the target. Sure. Give me that shield. Oh no, Paladin. It's just 1 morale. Watcher's Hatchet. Your attacks deal additional damage equal to 30% of your defense. Oaken Knot, heal 2% max HP every 2 seconds. Or Bandit Hood. Gain hidden, your attacks have a 5% chance to find 1 gold. Bandit Hood is reasonable. Quite good even. How's the defense of our backliners? Very low, so these would only be for the Paladin. Okanot might just be better. 2% max HP every 2 seconds, that's 8 HP per second healing. It's not even that much. That increases the burns we deal also, but only by a very small amount. But 30% of your defense, that's 18 damage on each attack. I don't want to have this be part of the build for very long, but for now, yes, I'll take it. Lizard Warrior. Attackers take 10 piercing damage and their defense is reduced by 1. I would like if you could hit someone else, but that's sadly not possible. Enemy active ability costs more. All allies gain negate and heal. 175 piercing attack damage to your target and an adjacent. We don't want to be adjacent then. I hope our Paladin survives that, but I doubt it. Now goes the detonate. There comes the shield. Looks like we are fine here. Frozen shell, we don't stack frost, so probably not. Crack Cleaver, your attacks reduce your target's defense by 2. A lot of our damage is gonna be poison and burn, which will ignore defense. So I think I'll take the Bandit Hood here. Maybe we can make some money off of it. Put it on the Alchemist for the increase in speed. So we can stack more poisons. And more blessings as well. Oof. 4 Noxious Nets. Your attacks reduce the target's attack by 2 for 10 seconds and apply Ruin. Poisonous Prick. Poison your target for 100% attack damage every 3 seconds and reduce their defense. We need to be able to take these down quickly, so I have the Paladin and Pyromancer focus on the same target. The Alchemist can hit another target. No, actually I want all of them to hit the same target, right? Yeah. I don't want... Ideally, we would take out a few of these before they get off their skills. So we have the best chances of survival with our Paladin. Ah, no, they all got their skills off, so Paladin is down. Pyromancer is down, but we might win it still. Yeah, there we go. Godbreaker. Your attacks deal an additional 20 piercing to your target and all adjacent enemies. Any enemies damaged by this item have a 20% chance to be stunned for a second. Too bad we have all slow attack speed units, but still, the Alchemist will speed up over the course of a fight, so the stun and the piercing damage is very useful. Forest Guardian, attackers gain 5 MP and grant you 10 MP. Sure. Heal for 40% of any enemy healing effects. There won't be a whole lot of these, so that shouldn't be a big problem. Deal 50% attack damage and piercing damage to all enemies. We can take a few of these on the backliners, so that won't be a huge problem, especially considering the backliners are also gonna get the Paladin's shield. So let's go. I think this fight is one that's on the easier side for us. Paladin still might die, but I think we should win. Yeah, Paladin didn't even die. It's a whirlwind axe. Your attacks increase your speed by 2%. Would work well with the Godbreaker. Maybe we focus more on speed on the Alchemist. Not sure if we want to keep the Starry Songbird here. That's gonna be every 7.4 seconds we gain 10 speed. This one will start giving us every 10 speed every like 9 seconds or something, but it will grow faster and faster the longer the fight goes on. We could also take the Tower Shield. I actually do like the frail defense. It's decent. Softens the blows at the start of a fight. That does matter. But I'm gonna go with the Whirlwind Axe here. We also get the ability orb. I think that one's gonna go on the Pyromancer, who will now deal 1.5 times the remaining burn damage. We could also buff up the shield. That is also totally reasonable. I don't think I want to go for the Alchemist right now. I think I want that burst damage. Make the burns more sizable. Let me take a look at the map. We can't go for both remaining elites, so that's something we have to keep in mind. These things hit adjacent enemies. There's no downside to having the Paladin over there. Let's go. Paladin is down though. And they even took out the Alchemist. Slit of Kunai, plus 10 death. Your attacks deal additional damage equal to 15% of your death to all enemies. Could be decent on the Paladin. Fenrir's Bane, I really like that. Primal Thirster, not so much. When your target is defeated, gain 10 attack and 10% speed for 5 seconds. Fenrir's Bane is good. At the start of combat, deal 50% attack damage to all enemies and apply 2 frost. That immediately reduces the incoming damage right from the start. And we do care about the attack on our Pyromancer as well. Let's go for more battles. Hopefully we can flawless a few of these. Oh, this one is rough. Lizard Runt, Youngling, once defeated all allies gain 15 attack, passive ability, so we want to definitely take that one out last. We want to focus on the Lizard Warrior over here, I think, with the Pyromancer especially. We have to take this Youngling Lizard Runt down before Lizard Commander. Deal 150% attack damage to your target and reduce their speed by 15%. Yeah, I think Lizard Warrior is going to be our main target, unless we want to do something like this. Have the Paladin not attack the Lizard Warrior, because attacking them reduces defense. The Pyromancer can be targeted because he's hidden, thanks to the Banditude. And then we have our 2 main damage dealers focus on the Lizard Warrior here. I think that's our best shot. Paladin did get taken out. Sapphire Pendant. Increase your speed by 2% per second. That is really good. That scales a lot faster than the Whirlwind Axe right now. Although the attack from the Whirlwind Axe is also quite nice. But the Pyromancer also cares about the attack, so attack and speed. So that's not too bad either. Ooh, Stonework Gargoyle and 2 Spire Sentries behind. That is rough. Not much we can optimize here. We might have to use the health potion once these Spire Sentries use their eye beams. I hope we get a few stuns off with the Godbreaker. We did. Time for the healing potion. And everyone survived. That was a healing potion well spent. Impaler, all of your damage is dealt as if the enemy has 15 less defense. We don't need that. Morningstar, our backliners care too much about speed, I think, to really use that to full effect. Leg wraps, probably decent on a Paladin, but I don't think I want to replace anything we currently have going for them right now, so I'll take the gold. Elite fight against the Ancient Defender. Once defeated, a roaming sentinel appears, gain 2 negate, passive ability, and fortification protocol, deal piercing damage to all enemies equal to your defense, gain 10 defense. Not much we can do here, we don't have an item to reduce defense, even though that would be very nice against this enemy. But let's hope we stack up our burns and poisons quickly enough that their defense won't be a huge issue. Paladin is still quite healthy. If we get that shield off, we will probably be fine. Nice. Bound elements. Every 3 times you attack, apply frost and a burn over 10 seconds to your target. Yes, that gives us more burns to blow up with the detonate, and it gives us speed. Rod of Casting, 10% speed. Your first 10 attacks grant 3 MP. And the Noble Ward. I'll go for the bound elements here. We also get another ability orb. Oops. Well, I wanted to use it on the Pyromancer anyways. But it seems... it seems my mouse is a bit glitchy right now. I think it's time to give up on the Bandit Hood value. We gained a few points of gold out of it, and we should keep it around in case we need hidden in a particular fight. Your active ability increases your attack by 12. Ooh, that is a good one. For every 25 gold you have, apply a minor curse to random enemy at the start of combat. We're gonna spend most of our gold right now though. What does the Godbreaker upgrade to? 40 damage, 40% stun chance. I feel like that's our current carry item, although we could make it a bound elements as well. Because that goes down to 2, then 1, then every attack. You know what? I really like that. Bound elements triggering on every attack is very, very good. Stacking up those burns and frosts way faster. I'm also tempted to sell the Bandit Hood here, just to get another upgrade. Because I do want that Godbreaker upgraded. The artifacts here are nice, the ancient items, but I think we do better with these upgrades. Slay the Spires. 3 Spire sentries, that is scary. Although the roaming sentinel should die quite fast. We could focus on, on the Spire sentry here first, and that's probably a better deal, better chance. The roaming sentinel is certainly less scary. There comes the burn. And another one. Paladin is dead, but we win. For every 50 MP you expend, heal the weakest hero by 100. We don't really have increased MP generation on anyone, except for the Starry Songbird, I suppose. Nor do we have any healing synergies. Gaining more MP could be nice. Attacks have a chance to apply frost and deal 3 piercing damage for each stack of frost. I prefer the Fenrir's Bane, giving us the frost outright at the start of the fight. Take the Brain Sage. I'm probably gonna use that on the Paladin instead of the Hex bag. Although, your attacks apply Ruin to your target and a bleed. Deal 10% piercing attack damage for every bleed effect on the target and consume a positive effect, healing for 15% max HP if successful. We will have positive effects due to having the Alchemist in the party, so we can't really avoid that from happening. I think the Alchemist wants to be the last person to get targeted. With the Ruin, that's only gonna be a heal for 40. So that's probably gonna be about 90 HP. Reducing the attack by 20 doesn't make a huge difference. And we don't care that much about defense. Yeah, I think it's correct to drop the Hex back here. Let's hope for some good minor curses. The Frost will certainly be helpful, reducing their speed and ability cost. Wow! The Pyromancer popped off. That was quite impressive. The bound elements really stack that burn high. Like by default we stack burns for 30% attack damage. This one gives us one for 75% attack damage. So no surprise there. Attackers deal 30% attack damage to themselves, but not a tanky build per se. At the start of your combat, and when you attack, gain a shield equal to 50% of your attack. That could cover our defense. Scourge of the Wastes is always nice. Your attacks apply Ruin, Frost, Silence, or a Poison for 50 damage. Wow, the Poison can get duplicated by the Alchemist. That's a 50 damage poison we could potentially duplicate. Ruin is nice. Frost, we already stacked that pretty easily. Silence is very useful. But this would make us a lot more defensible. Whenever we attack, we gain a shield for 22. Right now. If I want to make the Paladin apply reasonable burns, then I want to scale their attack anyways, right? I think what we want now is someone who increases our longevity, a healer, maybe the Bard, maybe the Cleric, maybe the Warlock. Maybe even the Frostmancer or the Blood Mage. Blood Mage. Transfusion. Lose 5% of your current HP every 2 seconds. Heal the weakest adjacent hero for the amount lost. If you are the weakest, damage your target for the amount lost. Passive ability. Well, that's his passive. Mirror Pain. Deal 150% attack damage and 20% of the damage you have taken this combat to your target. Heal for the damage dealt. Resets damage taken. Resets damage taken means for this ability, so you don't become stronger and stronger over the course of the fight, but instead every time you cast it you reset the value. Hey Skeef! Thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. 6 months now. It's been half a year. Much appreciated. Hi, Skeef. Thanks, I'm glad you enjoy it. Blood Mage could be a decent healer. That would be who we stack our HP items on. Could also be some kind of an off tank, but the defense is quite low. They're maybe what we want is another tank, something like a gladiator with high health. Could also be a thing. Or the druid. The druid is both. The druid would fit our party pretty well. Has pretty high HP, not great defense, but Barkskin, gain 40 frail defense at the start of combat. Attackers grant you 3% speed until your frail defense expires. And Nature's Blessing. Heal the weakest adjacent hero for 15% max HP over 10 seconds. They gain 4 attack and a negate. So they could do both. Oh, playing Loop Hero. I'm very interested in this game myself, but I think I'm gonna wait until the release to actually play it. You know what? We want to upgrade the Pyromancer Afterburn, do we? Maybe we just... maybe we're just confident with... What does it upgrade to? For 60% attack. So just... Yeah. 30, 60, 90. That might not be how we scale our burns. Maybe we instead use the Consecrate of the Paladin. The Alchemist has 2 random enemies, 2 random heroes, gain the poison and the blessings respectively. If we take the Druid, we want both skills to be upgraded, which is quite investment. With the Blood Mage, I think we could get away with only upgrading their passive. For the Bard, we could get away with only upgrading their active, I think. Outlaw could also be an option. The first time you are reduced below 50% max HP, redirect any enemies targeting you to their next target. Heal for 50% max HP over 10 seconds. And he applies large poisons the Alchemist could dupe. So that is also quite tempting. I want to try out this Druid. All merchant price now reduced? Yes. Elites and bosses have 10% less max HP. Would be good. I don't care too much about the other ones, even though doubling potion effects is very potent. I'm gonna go for King of Wands. Reducing the merchant prices, that means more item upgrades. And it's pretty early to get it. Playing all these games make me want to go back into game development, but I'm so busy with life right now, my real job in healthcare tech. Not willing to go game to... Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, you worked for NCSoft and Microsoft? For game as a game developer? Oh, pretty impressive. City of Heroes through Guild Wars 2. Okay. Nature's Blessing. Yeah, that's a very, very strong skill. They do gain inherent speed as well. In total, after 8 attacks, they will gain 24% speed. But I have a very low base speed, so... Let's see. City is imbued with strong magical abilities. We don't have a great way of shutting them down. Bleed you dry. We can't really cure bleedings, but we can give negates. Stifle your healing. Now with the Druid, that might be an issue. I think we go here. While below 50% max HP, heal 3% per second, deal piercing damage equal to 25% of your target's max HP. Piercing damage, huh? Do we want the Druid to get attacked? I think it's a good idea to have the Druid get attacked by the target that dies first, because of the piercing, of the frail defense we start with. Whose abilities do we upgrade here? I kinda wanna go for the Druid's Nature's Blessing. We don't get more negates from it, but we gain more healing and higher attack bonuses. The abilities, they could go... What happens with the Druid? 80 frail defense. That is extremely tempting. Sure. Let's get the Druid ready for combat here. That means we want a Watcher's Hatchet on the Druid, because 30% of your defense will be a lot. At least at the start of the fight. Give you the Hex back so you can put up shields earlier. Even though these do deal piercing damage with their suplex, their normal attacks can still be blocked with the Paladin's shield. I think this is good. Nice, backliner is down. Paladin might survive. We do have the heal over time on him. Yeah, nice. Gain 60 more frail defense. That sounds very nice on our druid. It's already pre-upgraded. I think we just take it. Yeah, I can imagine that it can be very important to know the company you're working for, not just in game development, but especially there. I crunched for almost 3 years straight. Oh, that sounds brutal. Yeah, the industry is rough. Sloshed Simian. You know what? We might be able to just off-tank this guy with the druid. He doesn't attack normally, he only has a skill. The skill he deals high amounts of damage, but we have 140 extra frail defense, so we can pretty much ignore these hits for the most part. And we will have the Nature's Blessing to heal ourselves up, so we can focus on the Sloshed Simian first. Your attacks reduce your target's defenses by 10. We definitely want that one to go down fast. Heals with his skill, gains attack and defense. Yeah, definitely. This one scales in so many different ways. That sounds like a very good decision, Skeef. I'm sorry it had to come to that point. And even though the druid is on the other side of the board, we can still have them focused on the Simian here. Because the other guy is hidden. Your attacks increase your defense. Interesting. It also gives some attack. That is good on the Paladin, I think. Shadowblade, your attacks deal an additional 30% attack damage for different random enemy. I don't think that's really what we want here. Let's go with the Champion's Guard. These allies fights seem pretty manageable. This guy's pretty similar to the other stealth guy. Targets the back row first, can't perform attacks, takes very long to charge his shot after the first one, so I think our druid will be totally fine against them. And the Garboid poisons all of us and moves us around. So we definitely want that guy to go down first. We also want the druid to be in the backline, so the Sniper Viper focuses on the druid primarily. How quickly can we take out this guy? Probably pretty quick. I think the first detonate will do it. So we should be okay. Even if the Paladin gets moved around, I think we can kill right afterwards. Yeah, Paladin gets moved around and there goes that target down. Crystalline Protector, the start of combat, gain 250 shield, Enchanter's Chainmail, gain immunity to burn, upgraded Rod of Casting. That is not bad, probably better than the Starry Songbird on the Alchemist. I also like the Enchanter's Chainmail quite a bit. The immunity to certain status effects makes some fights just very easy, but I will take the upgraded item here. Especially because it's one that we can really make good use of. Attackers bleed over 10 seconds. Deal 150 to your target and reduce their defense. Hit the second enemy with the same effect. Yep, we want to take out the card shark first. Well, we have to. And the Fleetfoot Mugger can once again be off-tanked by our druid pretty easily. Not a problem at all. Safety Slime. 30 death, apply a poison to attackers for 6 damage every 6 seconds. Defense Gauntlet. When losing 20% of your max HP to a single hit, gain a shield equal to 10% of your max HP and deal 60 piercing damage to all enemies. 20% of your max HP in a single hit. That would be 160 for the Paladin. There are quite a few enemies that deal hits that large, but it also grants us death and HP. Safety Slime is more death, which is probably more what I want here. And the poisons, they are not great to dupe with the Alchemist. But they're still higher than the Alchemist's innate poisons, so actually they are good to dupe. Let's go to the Elite. Gravedigger. Heal for 1% max HP every 2 seconds, increasing the effect by 1% each time. Getting hit by an attack has a 20% chance to reset this effect. Well, not much we can do about that, except hitting them constantly. The enemy who has dealt the most damage takes 200% attack damage and is down for 5 seconds. We want everyone to be on the same side here. And I think I want the druid to take the hits. With the tower shield, the 140 frail defense, I think the druid is better suited to taking these hits. I'm also considering switching over some other items to the druid. Just for this fight. Like the War Mage's great stuff. Your defense still matters because of the Aegis. And then I think that's it. This would add some healing if there's something. No, I think I like the Paladin with the Watcher's Hatchet and the defensive items. Maybe they do provide a decent amount of damage that way over the course of the fight. Yeah, that wasn't even close. Our Pyromancer just melted that guy. There's another Sapphire Pendant. Crack Cleaver, your attacks reduce your target's defense. Frozen Shell. Now we are actually applying Frost with the Bound Element, so Frozen Shell could be a lot of defense for us. I'll take it. Do we upgrade the Druid's ability again? That's 120 frail defense. If we want to make the Druid our main tank, that's definitely what we do, and it looks like that's actually gonna be ideal for us here. Let's go for some events. Minor curse to all enemies. Deal 150 to a random enemy. Not much we can do here. Let's just go. The hit to random enemies isn't piercing, so our shields provide decent protection against that. Saint's Vow, 100 HP, increase your max HP by 10 per second. does not increase your current HP. That matters a lot for the Nature's Blessing. I'm gonna pick it up, but I'm not gonna use it right now. If we go for something like Blood Mage as our final unit, that might be very good. Merchant now or Merchant later? Merchant later. I think we're strong enough. We can save up a bit, go for some more event. Title fight. The small crowd is following behind a rotund individual. Many members of the crowd look to be carrying pouches of gold. Fight promoter. You lot! I'm searching all over for ruffians such as yourself to fight my prize fighters. I'll make it worth your while, if you win, that is. Fight Craig, fight Grogan. These are... Craig is stacking bleeds. Grogan is using stuns, I believe. Priced Regalia. I've seen that one once. I think it sets your HP and defense to a fixed value. It is not that great unless upgraded, but if you max upgrade it, you can get a lot of defense and health out of a single item, but can't really stack it any other way. I think Priced Scimitar would do a similar thing with maybe attack and speed. I want to see what it does. Your target changes randomly after each attack. If you have no allies, your attacks cause the target to bleed. For 60% additional attack damage over 10 seconds. Wait, 60% of attack damage is not 50 for you. Deal 100% attack damage. If you have no allies, deal an additional 75 equal to the number of bleeding enemies. Well, we have the negate from the druid, but that's still gonna be rough. And he switches targets randomly. There's not much we can do about that, I think. Reduce the speed, that would help. Enemies are silenced and gain Ruin for 10 seconds. Ruin doesn't matter too much. Silencing you could be worth it. I think we use the Bottle Blizzard. We can preset potions so they are triggered right at the start. Reducing their attack a little bit and they're applying frost to them. Yeah, sure. Just slowing them down as early as possible. Looking fine. They didn't even get their ability off, right? Yeah, they did not. Priced Scimitar. Your attack is set to 70, your speed is set to 1.5. Your attack and speed cannot be increased or reduced. That might be good. Gives us the option of using different items on specific characters. It could work well with the War Mage's great stuff on our tanks as well. Probably not on the Druid who already gained speed, but maybe on the Paladin. I guess that depends a lot on who we are facing. I think for the Pyromancer we want to leave things as is. But we could, for example, move that over to the Alchemist and then use other items on them. Although we don't currently have great items for the Alchemist to use. So I think what I will do here is just give this to the Paladin. That makes the Consecrate much more potent. I like it. The Watcher's Hatchet still works with the additional damage. Depending on our defense. I think this is the setup we want. The extra attack from the Champion's Guard and the Watcher's Hatchet won't work. But it's still plus 20 attack and a huge speed increase from the Priced Scimitar. Doom to all enemies. Well, we win before the Doom runs out. Cobra's Reach attacks poison. Attacks deal additional damage equal to 6% of your missing HP. If anything, we want the Cobra's Reach to get more poisons out there, but I'm not even sure we really want to do that. Top elite or bottom elite? Top elite. The bottom one is stifling or healing. That can be a problem with the druid. It's way of survivability. These move the target away from the allies. I think our best bet is to have the druid starting over there so he gets moved over here. And still tanks them for a little longer. Another Fenrir's Bane. I don't think we can really fit that in. Crystalline Protector maybe? Let's take the gold. We can always sell these items for the gold value, but makes it a bit more clean here if I don't feel like I can get any use out of an item. Active abilities cost extra. You gain 20% of the MP expended, deal 25% attack damage to all enemies and remove a random positive effect from each. Steal one of the removed effects. If an enemy doesn't have an effect, they bleed for 280 over 10 seconds. Not a big deal, we will have positive effects thanks to the Alchemist. We will also have some attack speed on you. The stealing could be a problem though. Stole 8 defense, that's not a huge deal. And there he goes down. A mana bomb. All enemies lose 50 MP, that's really nice item to have. We might be able to make use of another bound element. Probably better than the Whirlwind Axe on you right now. Stack even more burns. Sturdy ability orb. Whose ability do we upgrade next? Alchemist or Pyromancers? Or maybe the Paladins. He spreads burns over multiple targets, so that might actually be better. Yeah, and his burns are more potent as well, 40% attack. Sure, let's get a burn Paladin going. Let's gain some upgrades here. Headdress of Fury. Active ability increases your attack by 12. Not really what we're going for here. When you attack, if your target has 10 frost, remove all frost and deal 350 attack damage to your target and any adjacent enemies. That could be something on the Paladin. Not because the Paladin applies frost. That's the Pyromancer's job. Just because the Paladin has the priced scimitar, so his attack is pretty high. We could also just get some upgrades. I want that priced scimitar to be upgraded. 80 and 1.4, yes. And finally 90 and 1.3. Yeah, let's make the Paladin a burn machine. And then our main source of damage is going to be detonating the burns applied by the Paladin and the bound elements as well. With the Paladin's attack damage that high, the avalanche is still tempting. Also feel like upgrading this tower shield. Or maybe the War Mage's great staff, although the druid doesn't have a very high attack. But we could certainly very easily switch that over to the Paladin and start tanking with the Paladin. With his high attack speed and high damage, that's gonna be really good. So I wanna upgrade this just for later use. I don't think we're going with the Whirlwind anymore. Cobra's Reach probably not. Unstable Orb likely not. We might use Saint's Vow or Frozen Shell still. Actually, Frozen Shell on the Paladin looks really good. Champion's Guard, then probably not anymore. Brain Sage, definitely not. Even higher stun chance on the Godbreaker or higher speed on the Zephyr. Both of these would make sense, as would the Bound Elements upgrade. I'm gonna go for the Tower Shield though. I want the extra frail defense on the Druid. Just have a huge amount of defense, gain speed all the time. The faster you attack, the better your shield's gonna get with the War Mage's great stuff. I could sell even more stuff. 25, 50, 75. Yeah, we can afford another upgrade. Starry Songbird is probably out at this point. And the Safety Slime. Gives us bigger poisons, more death. That can also be on the Paladin if we find a great other item for the Druid later. I like it. Maximum health on the Druid wouldn't be bad. We could sell Bound Elements for 100 gold. Or we could intimidate them for 140 gold but lose morale. I actually like to keep my morale. And I am okay with selling the unupgraded Bound Elements. This is not the item we want on you for sure, but it's gonna do for now. Your heroes are approached by a slouch pale figure. Ah, the vampire. Lose half your morale. That item is good, but not for our crew. Let's gain the 5% speed next combat. And just because we now have the 5% speed, I'm gonna go for an event so we can keep that for the boss. Temporal Anomaly. The hero spot a swirling portal. Upon closer inspection, they can see a similar location to where they are now on the other side. The energy which created the portal seems familiar, and the heroes think it will be possible to absorb it. Enter the path changes. I don't think that matters because we're right in front of the boss. Absorb. All heroes reduce the cost of their active ability by 3 MP permanently. Sure. Nothing wrong with that. More healing, more shields. Faster detonations, more duping of poisons. Yeah. The Paladin is damage dealer. Yeah, I think it works just because we have the Pyromancer. Otherwise it's not something I would usually do. We definitely want to focus on the Barbar because they are really nasty if they are left alive as the last one standing. We also want the Druid to tank the hits of these other guys, and the Paladin will actually not tank Barbar. Barbar will always attack the highest health target. Krieg will switch around, that's fine. Reduce the speed of all enemies, that can be nice. Are silenced and ruined. Heroes gain 250 shield and 25 defense. I don't think we need potions here, but if so, I think the silence could be nice. Druid is over there now, that is fine. Barbar is down. Krieg is my main problem at the moment. Druid is back here so they can heal. Yeah, easy. Pyromancer again with the blowing up of the Paladin's burn did the most damage. Calamity. No, I don't think that's what we want. You gain 25% of the MP expended by enemies, that's tempting. Reduce the speed of all allies and enemies by 15% every 2 seconds. You are unaffected. Sadly, our Pyromancer and our Alchemist both care about speed. Our Paladin does not, because his speed cannot be reduced. So we could put that on the Pyromancer, but we would slowly but surely slow down the Alchemist. But it is a very powerful item. We could put it on the Alchemist and just ignore the Pyromancer's auto attacks. move the bound elements over to another character. Probably the Paladin, because he has the highest attack, so he applies the biggest burns. Even though the 30% speed don't benefit him. And then we just slow down everyone else to nothingness. That means we want to pick a character here that doesn't rely on speed to do anything at all. Someone like the Outlaw, applying poison. The Wild Mage, scaling their spell damage. Definitely not the Berserker. We do have two decent tanks. The Druid as our main tank and the Paladin as our secondary. The Blood Mage could be an option. With the Saint's Vow especially. I do like the idea of getting a Blood Mage in here. Yeah, let's bring the Blood Mage. They don't care about speed at all, and that's good. Let's make haste. Shield gain by all heroes is increased by 30%. Our Paladin will be so happy about this. War Mage's great stuff also benefits from it. Elites and bosses have 10% less max HP is also huge. I don't want a chariot. Wheel of Fortune is nice, but it's a bit late for that. Still can be quite powerful. I think we go for death. Reducing their max HP. We have Seek Revenge and will rebuff death itself. So these have on death triggers or live after death for a while. Castle I don't quite remember. And Hunger for the Magic of which they were starved. I think that's going to be the most difficult one for us. Looks like our path is gonna lead us. Let's start in the dungeon. Feel like we can deal with these enemies pretty decently. The ability orb goes on the Paladin. I do want their burn upgraded. Let's move the Reverie Totem onto the Alchemist. Maybe no longer use the Rod of Casting on them. Let's move this thing over to our Paladin. I think the Paladin also wants the War Mage's great stuff at the moment. Because they will have to off-tank here. Maybe like this. What do they do? Your attacks apply negate to your target. Apply a burn over 10 seconds and a poison. Ooh. Negate stops our buffs from working. If they're applied from enemies to us. Attackers have a 35% chance to miss. But they are quite squishy. Deal 200% attack damage and apply 5 leech to your target. Your HP is reduced to 0. Huh. We could just let that happen. Gain 1000 shield. Your attacks apply a minor curse and deal 20% attack, piercing attack damage to your target and any adjacent enemies. Remove all of your target's MP and apply a burn dealing damage equal to 5 times the amount removed over 10 seconds. Increase your target's active ability cost by 30 seconds. I think the Druid will be fine tanking these two. And then we focus on the Boiling Mess. We can't apply burns on this side right now. Is the main problem I see at the moment. But we do have to get rid of this Boiling Mess pretty quickly. The Unstable Elements spell is nasty. Saint's Vow definitely goes on a Blood Mage. You don't care about speed anymore, but you still care a little bit about attack. The Godbreaker could be on the Paladin as well. I think I still want your speed to increase. Who gets the ability orb? I think the druid. More healing, better attack buff. That is pretty decent. Don't think speed matters too much in this fight. Although that flare spawn certainly deals a lot. Yeah, that flare spawn does care about speed a whole lot. This fight is actually somewhat scary. I'm considering using the Bogjaw here. We'll actually use it here, yeah. I'm worried about my druid otherwise. Pyromancer still just deleting enemies. While you have one or less adjacent allies, you and an adjacent ally gain 12 shields per second. Could be a thing. Wait. You should probably have this, even though it doesn't matter that much. Alright, we reduce speed of enemies harshly with the Reverie Totem. I'll take the Lover Safeguard, also add some HP, and if we have to split up, it's a good item. Undying Ward. Allies will continue fighting after falling in battle, can perform attacks, and expire. Your HP is reduced to 0. So after 15 seconds they will die. Risen Savage. Once defeated, apply 3 revenge to the enemy who has dealt the most damage. Passive ability. Retaliate, deal damage equal to your missing HP to your target. Risen Drag. Apply revenge to all enemies, but only one. Deal 150 attack damage to your target, steal a random positive effect, and apply Leech. I feel like we want a position like that. As long as while you have one or less adjacent ally. Well, that gives these guys shields, which they don't need. It helps against the revenge. Sure. But we set them aflame and then we burn them and, you know, makes things pretty straightforward. Witch Stick, attacks deal 1 MP from your target. Starting MP ability cost, that might be good now that some of our units no longer really care about speed. Royal Arbalest, targeting enemies in the background first. I don't think it's particularly important because we have a lot of AoE. Blood Mage needs to bleed a bit before that really becomes relevant. We have the Boiling Mess again. Let's use the Paladin to tank these Tainted Watchers. These attack the background first. The negates from the Boiling Mess are actually somewhat annoying. Generate any burn effects on your target. You really need to cast this faster. I think that's the most important part. Your attack doesn't really matter. Watcher's Hatchet is pretty useless on you as well. Do you have decent defense? None of you have decent defense. Is this how I want to set this up? I think so. We might use the health potion here, but I don't think it's gonna be necessary at all. There goes the detonation. Now we're attacking the other side. Detonate again. Think it looks like we want our Pyromancer to cast faster. Upgraded Lich Wraps. They could certainly help with that. Upgraded Frozen Shell is good defense, but I don't think I need that much defense anymore. Upgraded Crystalline Protector. I'll go with the Lich Wraps. I think what I care about the most right now is our Pyromancer casting as quickly as possible. So we can detonate the enemies very quickly after they get their burns from the Paladin. Let's move over to the middle here. Let's look what the event gives us. Lost backpack. The hero spot a backpack with barely any blood on it. With no sign of the owner, there's little sense in leaving good loot go to waste. We find a crystalline protector and 13 gold pieces. Sure. We have 66 morale. That's basically enough. We don't really need to go for normal battles anymore. We can probably get a bit more out of events now. Interstellar Cellar. A paper-thin pitch black window materializes in front of the hero, stopping them in their tracks. Something from the other side begins to speak in an alien tongue. Cycling through various languages before reaching one the heroes are familiar with. Enchantments for battle. Trade is mandatory. Upgrade all items for 390 gold. Upgrade all items. All heroes lose 23 attack and 23% speed permanently. All heroes lose 87 max HP and 18 defense permanently. Or all heroes gain 50 max HP but gain 5 revenge next combat if we destroy the portal. I think we want to go with the max HP. That is still good for the Blood Mage, the Druid, the Paladin to a degree. It helps our backline as well. And all heroes losing that many stats permanently is rough, even though upgrading all items is good, but a few of those items are already upgraded to the max and won't really benefit from that anyway. So let's gain the max HP. The Revenge does suck. We might actually have trouble with the next fight. But we'll see. The heroes discover a confused merchant. Merchant, I don't belong here. You heal for 50% of your attack and active ability damage. Ha! That's a lot of healing potentially. That is certainly a powerful item. But I think what we really care about is this Reverie Totem to be upgraded. Let's also optimize our setups a little bit. You want max HP. Maybe you want the Giant's Club, current HP. Or maybe not. The Watcher's Hatchet is not really that great on you, but it gives a little bit of HP. Same for the Lover's Safeguard. Crystalline Protector might be switched in sometimes. Fenrir's Bane is actually a good item, and I should have that on someone. Probably on you instead of the Watcher's Hatchet. I don't think we're gonna use the Watcher's Hatchet anymore, even though that is not bad. It is actually pretty underwhelming. Never mind. We don't really scale the Paladin's defense high enough. So let's sell the Watcher's Hatchet. It's still good on the Druid if we need the Druid to deal damage, but most of the time we just want the Druid to be our tank. Crystalline Protector, 15 starting MP, 5 defense. And 250 shield at the start of the fight. Who would we put that on? I don't know. So let's sell it and get another upgrade. I think the upgrade this time around is the Lich's Reps? The Lich Reps? Or maybe the Saint's Vow. If anything here, then it's the Saint's Vow. Could also be the Godbreaker, just more stuns. Stuns are going to be less and less important with the reduced speed from the Reverie Totem. Sapphire Pendant would allow us to add more poisons and blessings with the Alchemist, but we don't really build around those. Like, we haven't even upgraded his abilities. Let's go with the Lich Reps here. And then I think we move on. We don't want to go straight to another merchant after we spent all our gold, so let's do another fight. Oh, these look nice. Flare Fox. Your attacks reduce the cost of your active ability by 1, and you gain 10 attack for each burning enemy. Deal 100% attack damage, apply a burn. If your target was already burning, also apply the burn to enemies adjacent to your target. Frostrake. 20 attack when an enemy uses an active ability. We might have to take that one out first. Deal 200% attack damage to your target. Your target and adjacent enemies gain 3 frost. Redirect any enemies targeting you to their next target. Never mind, we're not gonna take you out first. Cleansing Ward, gain 500 shields. Remove a random negative effect from all allies and heal them for 5% of their max HP. I think we definitely want you in the front here. Blood Mage can be in the back, even though it doesn't really matter. I think that's fine. What is the most problematic thing here? Flare Foxes attacking an already burning enemy is a problem. Or rather, using their ability on an already burning enemy. And this one is gonna be a problem later on, once we have actually used active abilities for a while. File of Sorrows might be useful here. Let's keep that in mind. After the foxes have cast for the first time. No, these foxes are gonna die. Well, the front. Our Pyromancer died. Was too slow there with the silence. Now we have garbage damage. Well, the Paladin... Well, I guess as long as the Paladin is around, we can just let the burns run their course. So that will still work. Champion's Guard? Could consider that. It's already upgraded. I want some more HP on someone like the Druid or the Blood Mage. Let's pick it up. Maybe better than the Frozen Shell. Just because the Druid already has so much defense that extra HP might be the bigger benefit for them. Gain 60 gold. Trap chest. A random, an obviously trapped treasure chest. We can open it, gain 60 gold. A random hero has 50% less max HP next combat. If that hits the Blood Mage or the Druid, then this is gonna be a problem. Disarm. 75% chance to gain 60 gold without penalty. 25% chance to only gain 20 gold with penalty. Or destroy, just gain 20 gold. I'm gonna go with the Disarm. Heroes hear a click as the gold is snatched, but the trap was successfully disabled. Nice! Get that gold. We definitely want to go for this shop. because it's the last one before the boss and we want to be able to spend our money. Nightwood Imp, hidden, divine while hidden. Deal attack damage to the enemy with the most HP and steal 40% of their MP. That shouldn't be too big a deal. Bristol Beast, 600 shield, 100 frail defense. Attackers take 15 piercing damage and increase your speed by 2%. We definitely wanna... Deal 250 attack damage to your target and an enemy directly behind them. Move all enemies hit away from their adjacent allies. So away, move the druid over here. Then the blood mage would take the hits. That is a bit unfortunate. And the carrion spawn, take flight. The first time you are reduced below 15% max HP, redirect any enemies targeting you to their next target and gain hidden. So we can kill that one first. Unless we do it with burns. Or we one-shot them with the pyromancer or poisons. Maybe we can kill this first. The HP is very low though, so they will trigger this quite early. But I think our positioning makes sense if we do it like this. So we can't move the druid out of position. We won't be able to heal them with the blood mage, but the druid should be able to heal himself. The incoming damage here is not that high. Okay, that worked. Quite well, in fact. Book of the First. Every 4 times you attack, you and a random adjacent ally gain negate. We do reduce the attack speed of all units quite a bit, so that won't really work. At the start of combat, you and all adjacent allies gain a shield equal to 15% of your max HP. That might be very nice for the blood mage if we keep stacking max HP for them. But neither of these items really inspire me that much. Ragnarok. Every 9 times you attack, deal 250 attack damage to all enemies and apply a burn for 250% attack damage over 10 seconds. That could be a very good item for our Paladin. Instead of the War Mage's great stuff, if we don't need the Paladin to tank. Which will be the case in the final boss. We could also just upgrade something, but I think Ragnarok is such a good item for us that we should definitely pick it up. War Mage's great stuff, I guess, can be on the druid. They will buff themselves with the Nature's Blessing, so their attack will go up, and their attack speed will go up because of Bulk Skin. Although it will go down because of the Alchemist, so maybe that's not what we do. We could also move the bound elements to the Alchemist. Champion's Guard is also not that great because of the same reason. Maybe I should just keep the Frozen Shell on. I mean, you have 61 attack, that's not quite as high as the Paladins, but the Paladin doesn't benefit from stats, so actually having all ancient items might be good for him, because of the priced scimitar anyways. That means the Champion Guard is really quite useless to us. It's still 100 HP. Might be better than some of these things. I'm gonna sell the Sapphire. I'm actually gonna use the Fenrir for the extra frost. Even though the speed reduction from the frost is not that important anymore, now that we have the Reverie Totem and fully upgraded it as well. Let's take a Water of Life. Restore a random knocked out hero to 40% max HP and regain any morale lost. Oh no! Flask of Flames. All enemies burn for 300 damage over 10 seconds. That's gonna help on the pre-final boss. Quite a lot, in fact. Can we actually afford another upgrade? We can't. So let's just buy the Water of Life as well and move on. We have another elite battle to fight. Ah, this guy. That guy attacks everyone, so that's a little bit scary. I want most people away from you, right? Have the druid tank you with the paladin on the same side, so... And the blood mage is just responsible for healing up my alchemist and pyromancer. The scariest part is the steel storm attack all enemies is not dependent on his speed. That might actually be dangerous. Do we have a way to delay his cast? The mana bomb. The first cast we can easily get let through, but the second one we might have to mana bomb. No second one goes off though. Bandit Hood, Arcane Stabilizer. We don't benefit from gold anymore because there's no more shops. This goes on a Blood Mage. Heals twice the amount lost. So that's very nice. Arcane Stabilizer for even more HP on the Blood Mage. Which elite do we go for? Top or bottom? I think this one is probably easier. That's the Slave Master, the Warden. Deals 400 damage to all other allies every 3 seconds and gains 30 attack for each ally hit. We want you to take the main hits. We want you to take the other hits. Blood Mage does have a lot of health and the Arcane Stabilizer, so they can take the hit from this one Risen Drag. We need you to target the Warden so you can actually blow the burns up. And I think you want to be on this side as well. You can be in the back just in case. To random enemy and apply a bleed over 10 seconds. Move them away from their adjacent allies and stun them for 5 seconds. I'm gonna switch in the Water of Life just in case. Okay, hit the Paladin, which is kind of bad because we're not stacking burns anymore. But I think we'll be okay. Another Arcane Stabilizer. Well, I wish it were upgraded. Let's take an Oaken Knot here. Main ability upgrade, I think that goes on the Paladin. Increase the shield we gain. Even though his defense is not very high, it just scales the base amount anyways. Defense plus 200 now. So that's fine. Defense can reduce below 0, continuing to increase damage taken. Didn't know that. Healing Ward. Prevent all enemy healing effects. Can perform attacks. Passive ability. That is very annoying, but we do have the damage shielding from the Paladin. So that might be all we need for that. Scholar, 5 negate, 500 shields. While the shield is active, apply frost to attackers. Remove a random positive effect from your target. If successful, deal damage and all allies gain shield. That will almost always be successful, sadly. Mimic Hoarder. Once defeated, deal damage to all enemies and all allies gain MP. Not quite sure what to do here. I think we should focus down the top side because the healing ward's there. Druid is keeping up. How much healing did the Druid do? That's quite a bit. Damage taken. Oh, the Paladin did so much healing. Huh. Paladin might actually be the better tank now. With the War Mage's great stuff, with the Prized Scimitar. Reckless Dueling Blade. Not really what I want here. I'll take the bound elements, I guess. Battle is probably not going to give us anything useful, so let's go for the event. Puzzling Box. The glinting of small extravagant box catches the eyes of the heroes. The box itself is likely worth a fortune, but seems to be weighed down by an unnatural force. There is no lock, but it is firmly sealed. An inscription reads, "A warped mind can venture." Open, 20% chance to gain a random event item, lose 4 morale, repeatably failed. Destroy, all heroes gain 3 attack permanently. Increases when open attempts fail, all heroes lose 4 defense permanently. The attack gain is not that great because the Paladin has fixed attack. The Alchemist does care about attack a little bit, but most of our units don't really care about attack. And the next combat is gonna be the boss fight here, so I'm very tempted to just go with run. I could try to open the box though. No, let's go with run. Even though the speed doesn't matter too much for us either. Oh, the Hydra. Hydra. Boss enemy resilient to stun, disarm and silence, so they resistant means they only take half the duration of those. Multiple heads. Upon falling in battle, heal to max HP, remove all your status effects and reduce the number of effects your active ability applies. Activates 4 times. So every time we slay the Hydra, she will just lose a head and keep on fighting until there are no more heads left. Breath Weapon. Deal 200% attack damage to your target and apply leech. Apply poison, frost, stun and burn. Divided randomly among your target and any adjacent enemies. So I want to clump up for that one. I think we want the Paladin to be our tank here. I don't want the Pyromancer to get hit. Pyromancer is going to be our most important unit here. I sold my Warden's thingy. No, actually, you know what? We can have the Druid tank. The Paladin just apply the shield with Aegis. But there's so much shielding. I think we should have the Paladin with the more Mage's great staff tank. I think that's better for us. So the items on the Druid are pretty worthless. If we could instead increase their cast speed or something, that would be better, but we really can't. Poison, frost, stun. We don't know how big the poison is. And a burn, or the burn. So let's give you some regen that might help mitigating these effects a bit. Let's also make you apply some frost and burns, even though you are gonna be slowed. But yeah. 2.9 speed, 3.9 speed. .0 speed. Oh, we dispel all the negatives, so the Hydra actually gets her speed back after every head lost. That is actually dangerous. I'm gonna use a health potion to hopefully heal up the Paladin a bit. Only 1 head left, so we should be fine. Yeah, for this fight I should have taken off the Reverie Totem. Calamity, Necrophage, Helm of the Mad King. Increase attack and speed. Apply leech to your target. I think I go with the Necrophage. These ones are pretty simple. Let's gain the blessing here. I think we have the druid and the blood mage tank the top side. These guys can take the bottom side. We want the paladin and the pyromancer targeting the same target. The backliner will just reduce our max HP and gain a shield. Can't attack themselves. These things will split the damage they take and deal a lot of attack damage to the target and the enemy directly behind. So we should actually have it like this. We can't really make the... Oh, we have to switch back these items. Do I want crop breaker on anyone here? The Reverie Totem will actually make this fight very easy, I think. Their ability can still hurt, I guess. How many hits can a Pyromancer take right now? Yeah, that should be fine. The Alchemist will apply Leech to the wrong enemy. So maybe we are better off with the stun instead. Because that stuns both of them. This fight, we definitely want to use the Flask of Flames. That makes it much easier. I doubt someone will be knocked out, but it might be good to have this anyways. All enemies take damage. That's also good in this fight. Not so much in the next one. Yeah, sure. Let's actually pre-use those. That looks like a pretty clear win. And now for the Corrupted Oracle. They will gain a lot of negate, so having extra statuses be applied will help us remove those negates. The negates can also eat up the Reverie Totem debuffs. They don't start with negates though. Why? Ah, reduce max HP from death. Okay, that makes sense. Attacks apply leech to your target. That might actually be better. If we can get some leech on her, we will have no problems here. DPS is not too high. Equalize the HP of all enemies, ignoring summons, deal 50% attack damage and 50% piercing damage to all enemies. Then remove all shield and 2 random positive effects from all enemies. Because of that, I don't think we want the Paladin be the tank here. But these guys all care about adjacency. You can just heal up a bit with the Necrophage, although that will be a very minor amount. But still, should be good enough. Let's go. Oh, I forgot to swap in the potions, but I don't think we will need any potions in this fight. We are reducing her speed further. But we do have to deal with these negates before we can really get the speed down. Slowest speed is 5.0 by the way, so we attack once every 5 seconds. Druid is taking a beating here, but they still have 220 defense, so they won't get hit too hard. And there goes the boss down. I always feel like this final boss is actually less scary than some of the others. Yeah, we gained a level up on our heroes here. Doesn't make them stronger, but activates some nice cosmetic effects for them. let's see what Corruption 3 does. Elites have more HP. Let me guess. Corruption 5 is gonna be bosses have more HP? Probably. We didn't unlock any new characters. We would need to equip 3 of the same items to a hero. Defeat an act after visiting at least 7 events. We probably came close in that final act, but didn't quite get there. Or defeat a boss with only 1 hero remaining to unlock one of the final few characters. Of course, we can also defeat Corruption 7, 8, or 6 to unlock them. So we'll definitely unlock them sooner or later. There are also a few challenges left to do. These are just defeat Corruption 10 and 20. Beat the game without any abilities upgraded. That is certainly doable. You can sell these ability orbs and use the money to upgrade more items instead. Beat the game in under 30 minutes. I'm not even close to fast enough for that. Discipline, defeat an elite without any items equipped. I have tried that once and I thought I succeeded, but I must have missed an item on one of my heroes. Gain a level on every hero. For that we first have to unlock every hero. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Astronarch run. I always like games like these where you can really focus on the macro picture, like the general strategy, and don't have to like care too much about the timing of your abilities and stuff like that, positioning in combat, because you can't really influence those, right? So it's just planning in advance and then letting them execute. So the auto battler kind of style. I find those pretty relaxing.